Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, November 4th, 2020, the day after the election here in the United States, or I should say the day that the election is still going on in the United States. They're still counting millions of votes. It is a very tight race, and it is exactly what we did not want heading into today, which was not having a decision. The market does not like lack of clarity, and that's what we have right now. One thing I will say, it's been a little bit challenging for the last few weeks to have confidence, to have conviction, unless something has had a news story that has had legs, which we actually have a couple of those today. Um, be patient. I just can't express this enough. Be patient. There's going to be so much opportunity on the other side once the election is completed, decided, everybody agrees on the result. We will have tradable volatility come out of that. And it's something that has been a really big topic inside the boot camp, by me especially, because of the experience that I have and all of the money that I've made and lost over the last 20 something years now. The money you lose is really the money is really the part that stays with you and never goes away, because they're lessons. And easily the biggest lesson is trading too aggressively when it's not obvious, or when you don't have an edge. So right now we're trading on sort of micro time frames, where we're looking at the minimum criteria to be looking for ideas until the bigger picture clears up. But we knew that coming into both October and November, after two really diverse swings in August and September. So where are we now? We're looking for some shorter term opportunities. One thing that was really good yesterday was quite a few stocks that we normally watch. We might call them market stocks, or stocks that are just in our watch list every day because they move with the market, have good volatility, have good volume. A lot of those stocks went well bid yesterday. Unfortunately, some of them are still in bearish order flow over the last few weeks. So we're going to drop down. We're going to look at some opportunities. And hopefully by the end of today, by the end of November 4th, all of the voting is done. There's a decision made, and then we can get back to the business of actually paying attention to earnings, which we have right now, which some big earnings today are Allstate, Expedia, CF, GoDaddy, Hilton, Hologic, LNC, Met, Match.com, and Qualcomm. There's a lot of earnings out there today. So despite the global news, for lack of a better way to put it, with the pandemic and the election here in the United States, there is still stuff to do. But again, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. You need to be dialed in right now on your watch list. Be perfectly okay with ignoring everything else and only trade the stocks that are in your game plan. We are not in a market right now where you could make mistakes and the market will simply pick you back up and say, oh, don't worry about it. I know that was a bad entry. I know that was a bad idea, but everything's going up. That's not the case right now. So you really need to be dialed in. Ignore anything not in your watch list. And to start out today's watch list, we're talking about Uber and Lyft, and we'll head over to the screen and we'll take a look at why. Good news for both of them yesterday. You can see here that they no longer, in California, the law was passed, Proposition 22, exempting them from being employees. So that's a big deal. So how does that translate into ideas? Well, Uber, I like Uber better than Lyft. We're going to take a look at both of them, but Uber needed to clear 38 and then some short-term resistance at 42. And you can see it's all the way up at 40. If we take a look at Lyft as well, Lyft is in a little bit more of a bearish downtrend. It is getting a nice spike here, also up 16, punching it through here. But I think out of the two of them, I'm going to be looking to trade Uber today, looking for follow through. Now, again, something that we've really been on top of recently, especially with the back and forth that the market has had. We're waiting for these stocks to go well bid and close well bid on the daily charts. And we'll show you a couple of those in a second to confirm that the buying on the breakout is still valid. But today's story is a big one. So we're going to look to actively trade Uber today, hoping if it stays above 38 that we can initiate a new trade, assuming the market unfolds in a bullish manner today and we can hang on to that. We would not be adding until we get a close over 42. But we're going to be initiating the first piece of a trade today as long as it stays over 38. NLS, Nautilus, actually having a pretty solid day yesterday, coming out of a bull flag pause. This is what we mean by well bid, higher highs, higher lows, looking for follow through. We are looking for it to go through 27, not looking for it to test 27. So this is the pullback, looking for a new leg up. FTCH was called out in the community yesterday by a couple of people. We actually had it on the list yesterday. We said we were looking for it to go well bid yesterday. It did go well bid. So this is what I mean. First time breaking out. We want to get confirmation the next day. Yesterday, we got the confirmation, and now we are looking to initiate a new trade with a stop loss around 30, which means that you need to justify, excuse me, not 32, 32 is the stop loss here, which means you need to justify at least $2 worth of risk there. So you need at least 6 to the upside. Next, PDD. PDD actually is a good example as well. We were waiting for it to break 96. It did. So today it's setting up as a trade where we're looking for confirmation through this level, and it looks like we're going to get it. Looks like we're going to get it. It's opening up over 100. NEO is a stock that has been on our watch list for a while. And as we said yesterday, it is approaching the $40 price target. So again, as it nears the $40 target, you are shrinking the amount of profit potential, assuming that it hits the target and pauses there for a swing trade. So right now, NEO to me is a day trade, not a swing trade. I'm only looking to be long that stock as a day trade. If it gets up to 40, hits our target and pauses, very similar to like it did here. We'll be looking for it to get up there, and it did here, get up and pause. Then we'll look for the next swing trade. So NEO right now, a day trade for me with that $40 target. LI is an interesting one that we haven't watched in a while. We were looking for this bullish run to pull back and pause. It did not. It actually just languished down here for a couple of months with the rest of the market, really. But now it's actually well bid again for 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. So this is actually a trade that's going into our tracking journal. We're going to end up having one more day opening higher, which is above all-time highs. But then I'm looking for it to pause, and that pause is where I'm going to set up my next trade. CL also had a nice punch through yesterday. And again, this is what we're looking for. Punch through 80. Yesterday went well bid. So today is a trade over yesterday's high, looking for the next run higher. Honeywell, very similar. Honeywell now 1, 2, 3 well bid days in a row, including 1, 2 bullish gaps in a row, and trading through this level. So we still like the long in Honeywell as long as it stays above 176, which was the breakout level. OSTK is now consolidated for 2 days in a row after just getting beat up really bad last week. So coming out of this 2 days of consolidation, I'm not calling a long, I'm calling a short. What I am calling, excuse me, is a large green or a large red candlestick out of these 2 days of consolidation. We're shifting strategies here in OSTK because of the double inside candlestick, which is a contraction, which leads to volatility. So I'm calling for a trend day today, but I'm not calling direction. And Roku. Roku is a pretty interesting one as well. If you weren't watching the stock intraday yesterday, give you an idea what happened yesterday. And there was some news about Walmart and Comcast in early talks to develop smart TVs, which is pretty much what they're doing, right? They have those desktop boxes, streaming service box. I actually had one a couple of years ago. So that's big news. So actually what I'm really looking to do in Roku today, I'm not picking a side as much as I am picking a stock for volatility as a day trading opportunity. As far as the futures are concerned, we keep bouncing back and forth. It's been, look, as expected. I mean, here we are late last night. Here we are early this morning, and we're really not picking a direction because we haven't picked a president yet. So I think it's still unfolding today. I'm not even sure if today we're going to have the numbers in. They're still saying there's millions of votes to be counted in obviously some pretty big states with big electoral counts. So we'll see how it unfolds. And again, keeping it non-political, let's just get a decision made so we can get back to the market. I do want to stress something though that is really, really important in this, especially in this environment. If you're not sure, if the volatility has you confused, be 100% okay with being in cash. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to trade when you feel like you have an edge. Don't feel like you're missing out. Do not have fear of missing out. Don't have FOMO. Trade when you feel like you're in control. If positions you have moved against you, what I would normally do is scale out or get out and then look to reestablish those ideas again. Because if and when, more likely when the election is over, we are going to have plenty of good tradable volatility. So put yourself in a position to win. If you're not sure what's going on, if it doesn't make sense in the time frame that you watch it, it's okay to be in cash and wait for it to line up again. So if you have any questions, definitely click down and leave me a comment. And please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day.